Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Vamp Gamer here, and we're about to go live. I mean, we already are live. I'm still alive. Anyway, we're about to go and what we're doing again? Oh, we're about to react to this video. So here we go. It's SHUNchan.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So about a month ago, I made a video where I talked about what I find weird about America. And in that video, I said American people tend to hate schools, whereas we Japanese people tend to love our school life.
Yeah, and the thing about that is like I've been wondering why Japanese people love their school life so much, because American people have, including me, have had bad experiences with school and they don't like it. I'm sorry, I'm kind of under the weather. Allergies again.
I think this is still true to a large extent, but after reading you guys' comments on why you guys hate schools in America, I was like, wait a minute, there are things that we freaking hate about Japanese schools too. And my explanation in the previous video doesn't really do justice to the Japanese school experiences as a whole. So I'm making this video in the hope that you guys could learn some different aspects of Japanese school culture, other than simply saying, oh, Japanese schools are the best, we love Japanese schools and stuff like that. So yeah, let's do it. Shall we? Okay, first thing first, I hate
Fucking American people are so stupid. They really believe that shit really does exist. Not even in my high school we had that shit. You know? I mean, you can go up to the roof, but if you're caught, like, you'll be suspended. But yeah.
the fact that in many animes or Japanese TV dramas, there are so many scenes that take place on the roof of schools, whether students come in for lunch or just hang around, or even sometimes confess love to another. This never, when I say it, I mean never, happens in Japanese high schools. Because how many times can you personally say, if you ever studied abroad in Japanese school, that you have ever hung around on the roof of a school building? I'm from Osaka, but I also have friends from, different other areas too. And none of them, including...
And the crazy thing is, that explains why he's a YouTuber. Japanese people from Osaka are very confident and outgoing. It's almost like New York. Like, just Osaka is the only place in Japan where they have outgoing Japanese people. I met a few, and I was really surprised. Like, they speak English really well too in Osaka compared to other parts of Japan, including Tokyo.
Myself had this kind of experience. In fact, in most schools, they lock the door to the roof so that students who are depressed from our nonsense school culture won't jump off.
And it's true. Like, like, suicide is so high. So I mean, I understand. Even in America, it's locked, the schools. So yeah, I agree.
I was so disappointed when I entered my middle school, because if you know what I'm talking about, hanging out on the roof has become such a cliche in Japanese anime and TV dramas. So I was really excited to have that kind of experience. So honestly, I don't know why they still keep making those scenes, because realistically, nobody can ever relate to those kinds of scenes.
Yeah, I'm just wondering where the fuck they got the idea from that you can go to the roof in whatever school you go to. Because in Yu Yu Hakusho, like, Yusuke was always on the roof, and I mean, yeah, I get he's the troublemaker, but like, I'm just wondering where the fuck they got the idea from if you can't do it here. So yeah, not even in America. Ugh.
So it is a well-known fact that there are so many rules about your hair in Japanese schools. You can't have your favorite style of hair. No dyeing, no perm, you can't style it with a hair wax, the length should be less than this and that. But these are somewhat understandable. I mean, I wouldn't say it's understandable, but what they're saying basically is just be as natural as possible. Like,
that's fucking stupid. Like, I understand now why a lot of Japanese people don't perm their hair or do whatever they color their hair. I understand now, because like from school you're forced to like have this natural hair, and you can't straighten it, you can't perm it, you can't dye it. Like, that fucking sucks. Like, my high school, you can do whatever the fuck you want. I mean, if you had the balls to rock it, you could rock it. But a lot of people didn't have the balls to like dye their hair green or purple or whatever color. And the crazy thing is, a lot of older Japanese people now understand. Like, let's say they're in their 40s, they're in their 50s, like, they have like really crazy colored hair. Like sometimes like it's purple or it's pink or it's white, and you would never see that, you know, with a young person because like certain jobs don't let you do it, which fucking sucks. You know, I mean, you can have your hair colored in America, depending on what type of job you have there. Like if it's a government job, they won't let you do it. Like if it's a normal job and you were there before and you had it, you know, like you can do it. But if you say, I want to dye my hair red as soon as I get to this job, like they'll say no, most likely. But I mean, if you dye your hair before you get the job, you're fine. And in school it was the same thing. You know, like that's fucking whack. Japan, you need to change that shit. Like if I was to go to high school, like they wouldn't let me in because they'd be like, "Oh, your hair's not natural." Like this is my natural fucking hair. I didn't perm it. Like it's just like this. I don't have straight hair, but yeah, I've heard a lot of like people of color that go to school in Japan have that problem.
Don't do anything to your hair, right? But let me talk about Japan's favorite. We restrict this for no reason, but just because this is how it's always been. Rules. In Japan, public schools don't allow students to have what is called 2 block or 2 block. For those who don't know, in an oversimplified definition, it is a hairstyle where the hair on the side is trimmed very short and the hair on top is left long. I'll insert some pictures around here, but in Japan, this kind of hairstyle is so common and popular that it wouldn't be too much of an exaggeration if I said pretty much every guy in Japan has this kind of hairstyle. But most schools ban this hairstyle. And last spring, when I started working as a fresh graduate, I had this conversation with my friend and it went something like this. お久しぶり。めっちゃ髪の毛変わってるやん。2ブロックやったよな。
そうやねん。でも俺春から先生になったしさ、子供たちにも2ブロックあかんって言ってる分、若い教師は特に2ブロックしたらあかんねん。
そのルールまだあるんや。てか先生の立場からしてそれどういう理由で起こってるん？
正直わからん。ずっとあるルールやからそれに従ってるだけ。
What? Can you guys believe this? They are enforcing the rule for the sake of enforcing the rule. So earlier this year, there was a discussion about this hairstyle at Tokyo City Council, and the head of the Board of Education's response was just ridiculous to say the least.
2ブロックはダメなんでしょうか。その理由といたしましては、外見等が原因で危険や事故に遭うケースなどがございますため、生徒を守る趣旨から定めているのでございます。
Like it's...
I mean, like, I don't fucking get it, like, honestly, because, like, for example, like, the only rules that they really enforced in my high school that I remember is colors. Like, you can't wear certain colors to school because of gang association, because, like, when I was going to school, like, they're punks, like, all those people that used to harass people wearing colors, like, that was, to me, that was fucking stupid. Like, it's not a big deal. It's not cool. It's still not cool. But, you know, like, if you wear a red bandana, it was considered a gang flag, so you weren't allowed to wear it, like, you know, in school, but people would still wear it. But it would be certain colors that you can't wear, which is really stupid, but at the same time, I understand where they're coming from. But this rule that he's talking about, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, if your hair is nowhere near a conveyor belt because your hair is mad long, like, I understand, like, you have to cut it. It has to be short and shit. Like, or you're near machines that roll or spin. Yeah, I get it, but like, there's nothing going on in Japanese school that's gonna be dangerous. Like, you don't work in a fucking factory. I don't understand, but yeah.
This guy out of his mind. This guy must be kidding me. Like, what does having that kind of hairstyle have to do with getting in trouble and stuff? And also, if your hair is naturally curly or dark brownish, you have to submit this paperwork to prove that that is your natural hair.
How the fuck do I do that? Like I'm Puerto Rican. Like, my hair is naturally brown. Like, I don't do nothing to it. Like, I mean, but basically, since I'm from America and I'm Puerto Rican, and if I was born in Puerto Rico, I would still be considered American. Like, how would I prove my hair is like naturally that color? I mean, not a lot of people have like brown hair, like darkish brown hair, but you know, some people do if they're lucky. But like, how do you prove that? Like, you get a DNA test? Like, damn, that's just a lot of paperwork. Just like he said in the past videos, paperwork.
usually with pictures of your younger self. But what kind of weirds me out is that
I don't even have pictures of my younger self when I had hair. I started growing my hair when I was a teenager. Like, that's fucking crazy.
while it is not okay to curl your hair, it is completely fine to get a straight perm to curl the hair. But anyway, if you fail to submit the paperwork with your younger self picture attached to it, you might get in trouble and you'll be forced to fix your hair by dyeing your hair black or get a straight perm. I might get in trouble for saying this, but this is simply abuse to my view, and whoever's still enforcing this rule is just stupid. While we are at this, let me also share the fact that girls are not allowed to wear makeup in most schools in Japan. Not even like a little bit. In my school, we had this thing called, what is it called? Makeup remover in each classroom, so that whenever they find a student with makeup on, they can just force her to remove it right away. I feel bad honestly because they say it is a bad manner for women to go to work without any makeup on. So like, how could you expect them to get used to wearing makeup every day all of a sudden after graduation? Like if you don't let them wear it in school. Like, am I not right?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird because he's absolutely right. And then on top of that, like, if you're not used to wearing it, when you start going to work and you don't wear it, people look at you funny. You know, most Japanese women that do have a job, they wear a suit and shit, like, they have makeup on, even if they don't know how to. I mean, sometimes they don't know how to use it, which sucks, and you can tell. But like, that's why they don't have experience with it. You know, but it makes perfect sense what you're saying.
So in Japan, like in any other countries, we have assemblies in school, and what I hated the most about them is the way we are supposed to line up or gather around. We do this thing called SHUNchan. It's basically that we line up based on our height. And
I fucking hated that. Like, that was in fucking middle school. Like, I hated it. I hated it. You know, because like, he's probably gonna say it, but I mean, if you're short, you would get laughed at. The same way I'm laughing at what he's saying, you would get laughed at. Like, people don't want you to know how tall are they, how small are they. Like, it's just fucking funny. But like, in high school, we didn't do that. In middle school, yeah. Like, middle school and elementary school.
I was always the first one because I was short, and people would make fun of you because you're always the first one, which I didn't really care about too much because my mom always told me that I will grow up taller than them when the time comes, which never happened. But I think more and more schools are
Your mom lied to you.
removing this rule as they observe it can lead to bullying.
It's true.
But yeah, I think this still exists in a lot of schools. And also during a long assembly or during PE class, when we are allowed to sit down, there is this particular way of sitting that we have to follow as a student, which is called taikuzuari or sankakuzuari. And this is way harder than it looks. And apparently, this
I mean, like, you can sit down however you wanted as long as you were next to your class. It didn't matter. Like, Japanese, fuck all these fucking rules. It's not the army. Like, they're kids. Like, that's fucking abuse.
This way of sitting isn't suitable when it's done for a long period of time. So as the principal keeps talking nonsense for like good 10 minutes, some students will literally reach out to the point where they can't keep in that position anymore. And your teacher will come up to you from the behind and smack your hand and be like, "Chanto suare." I'm like, bro, お尻痛いんですけど. Like, just because you have to go through this when you're a kid, it doesn't mean you have to go through this. It's scientifically proven that it's not good for your health. I mean, I wasn't brave enough to talk back to my teacher, but I really wish I did.
Yeah, I wish most Japanese people were brave enough to talk back to anybody.
So Japanese schools have this weird grading system. Not only do we get graded on our test scores, assignments, and our learning manner during class, we also get graded on note-taking. Now, I'm not denying the importance of note-taking.
That's fucking stupid. Like, I would fucking fail. Like, my note-taking is so bad. Like, it's not even in order. It's just like a big piece of paper. Shit is just like jumbled all around. And of course, like, I would forget what I wrote, but then when I read it, I remember. Like, that's fucking crazy, Japan. Japan needs to change that.
It surely does help students to remember things. But the way
And the crazy thing is, like depending on how well you took your notes, like, sometimes they may grade it, but it doesn't matter how neat it is. Like, it depends on the teacher, I guess.
the way the teachers expect you to take notes is just beyond crazy. You cannot have your own way of note taking. Like, you don't just listen to your teacher's lecture and write down whatever you think you need to write down on your notebook in your own format. It's not like that. You are expected to basically copy and paste whatever the heck teachers writes on the blackboard, like word for word. And this is why there's so much less interaction between the teachers and the students. It's almost like we have to ignore whatever the teacher is saying and focus on, note taking, because one, we don't want to get our points deducted for missing few words or using different colors of pens. And for two, they don't wait for you. Like, if they are done, they erase everything and keep going. So yeah, I don't know if this is still a thing in Japan because it's been years since I went to high school. But yeah, do you guys submit your notebook to grade it on as well? Like, if so, how particular are your teacher about, how you take notes? Please.
Not that particular. Like not once have I been graded for bad notes, and you can write whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Like, sometimes they'll grade it, sometimes they won't, But like I said, it depends on the teacher.
Let me know in the comment section. So Japanese schools lack ACs and heating system. I mean, they do exist, but only in classrooms, and they can only be turned on during lectures. So just imagine getting into a super hot and humid classroom after 30 minutes of walking during summer in Japan. No wonder why there's so many cases till this day of students getting heat stroke every single summer in Japan. So one day when I was a student, as soon as I arrived at the school, the first thing that I did was just to strip to my underwear. Not underwear as in like my panties, but undershirt, yeah. Because I don't want to get drenched in sweat, right? And guess what happens? My teacher, who just came from the faculty room that is always kept cool, would come up to me and tell me to wear my uniform. And guess what? He's only wearing a t-shirt. Like, I literally thought he was just joking and trying to be funny, but no, he was goddamn serious. And also during winter, we were rarely allowed to turn on the heating system also. For one, it is expensive, and for two, there's this stupid and outdated mindset that children must learn to endure hardship and stuff. Like, we have to shiver to the point where our hands get numb and we can't write properly so that we can develop fortitude or whatever. Like, they need to learn to put students' health as a top priority before this obsolete bullcrap, right?
That fucking sucks. I mean, like, in high school, we didn't have air conditioners. Like, I mean, we didn't have air conditioners in every classroom in the summertime, and for summertime we didn't have a lot of air conditioners in every classroom. We mostly have fans, which was not bad, and in the wintertime we did have heaters, but they weren't fucking strong. Like, it's just something you get used to, But if you did have a class that actually had a heater in the winter and an air conditioner in the summertime, you were lucky. Not all the classrooms. Maybe like my whole high school, maybe in one classroom. All the other classrooms had fans, and there's heaters in every classroom, but they were fucking useless because they barely kept you warm unless you sat directly next to it.
Okay, so I love Japanese school lunch. I miss it every day. But I have one problem with it. So with our school lunch, we always, with no exception, have milk as a drink, right? There's actually law enforcement that Japanese schools have to provide students milk during lunch, I think. When we have some bread for lunch, typically on Tuesdays and Thursdays, that's completely fine. Bread and milk. Great combination, right? I love it. What a lot of Japanese people, including myself, have a problem with is that on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we have rice. And we also have to have milk with it. That's just a weird combination.
I mean, I understand like how he feels. Like, I was lucky that we can have like chocolate milk, regular milk, juice, but I mean, fuck, only milk and rice? That doesn't sound like a good combination. And school lunch in America sucks. Like, everyone always says the Japanese school lunch is better. So yeah.
Rice and milk don't go well together, right? We usually have water or tea with rice dishes. So rice and milk, it's just disgusting. And the reasoning that your teacher will always tell you is that milk is a great source of calcium. That is such a shallow argument that anyone could disprove, right? Like, milk isn't the only source of calcium, like there's other foods that have a lot of calcium in it. And given the fact that Japanese people are lactose intolerant, Japanese government shouldn't legally enforce the schools to make students drink milk every day.
I'm lactose intolerant too. I go straight to the bathroom if there's milk like in my shit, and I don't even know what it is. Coffee, for example. That's why I prefer soy milk.
So yeah, now that I talked about those absurd rules in Japanese schools, I'm now questioning if I really enjoyed my schools or hated it. But I guess those rules can also be a factor that makes our school life kind of fun and a unique experience, I guess, because we do our best to get around them or sometimes break them for the sake of, like, what is it called? Guilty pleasure. Yeah, to get guilty pleasure out of it, if that makes any sense. You know, like it's like a bittersweet memories. So yeah, that's all I have for today. And please let me know if you guys find these rules normal or crazy in the comment section. So yeah, thank you so much guys for watching my video today, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Peace!
Yeah, I mean, like, he didn't talk about bullying. I got bullied every day just for being a fucking geek. But yeah. You know, sad life. That's why I hate high school. I will always hate it. I mean, like, it had its good moments, but mostly bad for me. You know, it wasn't good. That's all I have to say. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It was the doorman. So basically, what was I talking about? Yeah, I was saying that I got bullied every day for being a geek, for liking the things I liked, for dressing the way I dressed. You know, it wasn't cool to like wear fucking tight pants like in high school. You know, you get called the faggot every day. You have to wear your pants down to be cool and wear Jordans. That was my experience. And yeah, that's about it. Vamp out. I'll be doing another reaction video.